everyone. In the previous video we discussed about the timers we are using in the 8051, that is timer 0 and timer 1. We even discussed about the register we are using, that is T mode, for mode of your operation, saying mode 0, 1 and 2. Today in this session let's discuss how to start and stop this timer 0 and timer 1. So for this starting and stopping the timer 0 or 1, we will be using the bits, that is timer run control bit. We will say if it is TR0, then this pin is used for timer 0, and if it is TR1, then this pin is used for timer 1. That is to start and stop the timer. So if you want to start the timer, then we will be using the bits, that is timer run control. So this instruction, if you are writing like set bit TR0, it means that you are setting your timer run control bit of timer 0, nothing but starting your timer 0. If you are writing the same like set B TR1, then we are starting the timer 1. So by using these two bits we can start the timer. When coming to the stopping of the timer, then it depends on the flag we will be using, and that flag is nothing but timer overflow flag, we will say. So we will be keep on continuously monitoring this flag. If this flag is set, then it is raised. If it is raised, then there is a condition that we have to stop the timer. So based on this flag we will be checking out whether we have to stop or we have to continue. So we have one more register like a T mod. We have one more register, that is TCON. So this TCON register is used to control the timer or counter operation. So in this TCON, this is also a 8-bit register. In this 8-bit, the lower 4-bit what we have, it is dedicated for the interrupt operation, and the higher 8-bit what we have, that is for your timer run control and overflow flag. So you can see here. So this is the representation of your TCON. So in this TCON, already I said that the lower 4 bits are dedicated for interrupt, and the higher 4 bits what we have, that is dedicated for your overflow and timer run. So 1 says that is we are dealing with timer 1, and 0 says that we are dealing with timer 0. So you can see here. So the TCON bit 7 is used for TF1, nothing but we will be using it as the overflow flag for timer 1, and 6th bit is used for run control bit of timer 1. So 7 and 6 are dedicated for overflow and run control, timer run control respectively for timer 1. Similarly we have TF0 and TR0, that is the 5th bit and 4th bit. So this 4th bit and 5th bit what we are using, that is again for dedicated to timer 0. So TF0 is for your overflow flag of timer 0, and TR0 is your timer run control bit of timer 0. So now by using these pins what we are using, we have said like timer run control and timer overflow flag bit, we can start and stop the timer by setting these bits, right? If you are using the instruction set bit TR0, then it is means that we are start up the timer 0. Similarly it is applicable for TR1, and based on the value what it is present in TF, we can stop the timer. When we are dealing with the timer 0 or timer 1, we know that it is a 16-bit register. So when it is 16-bit register, then the maximum value we can have is between 0000 to FFF. Therefore, the timer 0 and timer 1, they can have the timing counting between 000 to FFF. So it will allow the values 00 to 0000 to FFFH in the registers. So already I have said that the registers what we are using, it is a 16-bit register, that is timer 0 and timer 1, but 8051 is a 8-bit architecture. Therefore this 16-bit it will be divided into or separated into TL and TH. That is we will be loading the lower 8-bit into TL and higher 8-bit into TH. Therefore initially, so we will be having the value from 000 to FFFH, which has to be loaded into TH and TL. Then we have to start the timer. So once the initial value has been loaded into TH and TL, we have to start the timer. So first we will decide which timer we are using, whether timer 0 or timer 1. If we are using timer 0, then the instruction for starting this timer will be set B TR0. If we are using timer 1, then the instruction to start this timer will be set B TR1. So now we have loaded the initial values into th and tl. Then we will be checking out which timer we are using. So based on that, we will start up the timer by giving the instructions like this. Then we will keep on counting. So the count will be keep on going, and we will be keep on checking out the flag tf, that is overflow flag, timer overflow flag what we have. So this timers what we have used, so the maximum value they can have is only fff. So when the count is till fff, the value of overflow flag will be 0. So once the count has been started, all the time tf is equal to 0 between 0 0 0 to fff. Once it is reached the maximum value and it is rolled over to 0, then tf will become 1. So when this tf will become 1, then we have to stop the timer. So now for stopping the timer, again we will be having one instruction which says that clear tr0 and clear tr1. So if you are using timer 0, then you will go with this instruction, and if you are using timer 1, then you will be going with this instruction. That is, first we will load the values, the initial values into TL and TH. Then we will start the timer. Then we will keep on monitoring the TF flags to check out whether the bit what is present in that. So if TF is equal to 0, then we are in the range what we have given, like 0 0 0 to FFFFH. Once it has reached the maximum value, that is FFFF, and it is rolled to 0, then TF will become 1. So once TF will become, then it is like we have to stop the timer, and stopping the timer we will be going with the instruction clear TR0 and clear TR1. So once you are stopping the timer, again this TH and TL has to be loaded with the initial value so that we can continue the process. So already we have said, so the clock frequency what we need for your timer will be always 1/12 of crystal oscillator. That is what we have shown, and this is the mode we will be using timer run control bit. So say which timer you are going to use, whether 0 or 1. So once you are decided the timer, then you can load the initial values into TH and TL, and you will be keep on monitoring the TF flag. Once the TF flag is rolled over from FFFF to 0 0, then TF flag will be set where you have to stop your operation. Are the steps what we have used to program in mode 1. That is, so first we will load the t mode value with the register, saying which timer you are using and which mode you are using. So which timer and which mode. So already we have discussed, we have the modes like 0 1 and 2, and we have the two timers, timer 0 and timer 1. So first we have to decide which timer we are using and which mode we are using. Then we will load the initial values in TH and TL. Then we will start the timer, and we will keep on monitoring your overflow flag. Once this flag has been set, then you have to stop the timer. Once you have stopped, then you have to again reload the values into TH and TL. We have to continue. That is what we are written the steps here. The first step is to decide which timer and which mode. Again, the second step is to load the initial values into TL and TH. Started the timer, then we are keep on monitoring your timer overflow flag. So now we will be keep on checking out this instruction JNB, that is jump if bit, right? So for this instruction is to check out your flag TF is equal to 0 or 1. If it is 1, then you have to stop the timer. That is the next step we have. Stop the timer. Once it is stopped, then you have to clear. That is clear the TF is nothing but, so once the TF has become 1 means we are stopping the timer. Again to go to the next round, then automatically it has to be cleared. Then you can load the initial values into TH and TL, and you can start the counting again. So here we have taken an example where we are creating a square wave of 50% duty cycle, and we are using the port P1, and we are using timer 0 to generate the time delay. You can see here the port you have used is P1.5, and you are using timer 0. So we are using timer 0 mode 1. So P1 mode 1, timer 0 T0. So now what we have to do, first we have to decide according to the steps. First we have to decide which timer we are using and which mode we are using. The second step is we have to load the initial values into TL and TH. Next we have to start the timer, right? So now you can see here The first step we have said that we are using timer 0 and mode 1. Then we have taken the initial value as F2H. So now this F2 has to be loaded into TL and FF has to be loaded into TH. Now we are using timer 0, that is why you have taken TL 0 and TH 0 and you have loaded the initial values. Now, so you are using a square wave generation here, square wave of 50% duty cycle. There now we have to go for high and low value, that is positive and negative. That is why you are complementing this P1 port 1 each time so that you can get the toggle value. Then you are saying a call delay, nothing but we are calling a subroutine by the name delay. So in the delay you can see that we have the instruction set BTR0. So already I have said that whenever we are supposed to start the timer, we will be going with an instruction set B. Since we are using timer 0, then we have be using the bit TR0, that is timer run control of 0. Now after this you have the instruction that is jump if bit TF0 comma again. So I said that once the timer is started, we have to continuously monitor the TF bit. If TF is equal to 0, then it is like under counting. Once this TF is becoming 1, then it means that we have reached the maximum value and we have rolled back to 0. Therefore at that time we have to stop the counting. So that is what we have written. We have JNB TF0 again. Once it has raised that it has become 1, you have to stop the timer. That is, the stopping the timer can be done by using the instruction clear TR0, and again you are saying clear TF0. So you can make your TF value again 0 so that you can start your counting. So and you are saying return. So when you are returning means after your subroutine instruction, you will be coming over here where you will be loading the TH and TL again and you can continue your counting. So we have already said that we have loaded the value, that is initial value is FFF2. So FFF2 is the initial value we have loaded. At that time your TF is equal to 0. The next count is F3, that is TF is equal to 0. It will be keep on continue till the maximum value FFF. Till this the TF value will be 0 only. Once it reaches to the maximum and it rolls to 0, then TF will become 1. So at that time we have to stop the timer. So you can see here till FFFF you have TF is equal to 0. When it is rolled to 0, the TF flag become 1. At that time we have to stop the timer by saying clear TR0, since we are using timer 0.